real in the streets, nigga. So sit back and relax. Check out this intro, man. The show won't be starting in a minute. Come check me out, just, you know what I'm saying? Tell me what you feel about the show, rules of the show, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So just whatever I am, like, I'm back on block. Hey,
What's good? What's going on? What's poppin'? How you doing? Red Bearded Don over here with this, Red Bearded Don show. Making another video just to enlighten you, tell you a situation about when I was incarcerated. Give you an incarceration story for, a lot of youths, getting incarcerated now. Going to jail or penitentiary ain't a thing for the youth now. They in and out of penitentiary at a rapid rate. And I noticed, like, especially for blacks in the inner city, it's like the probability of a black youth going to jail or being incarcerated is very high. You got more of a chance of being incarcerated than being than going to college or going to the military. The chances of being incarcerated or being incarcerated is the same. Is actually is more than you actually going to college or going to military or doing anything else. And that's been like that. It's more blacks locked up in this society in America than it is any other nationality. And that's amazing due to the fact that we only, our percentage is low as the population of blacks. We got low percentages of the population of blacks in America, but we got the highest rate of incarceration. Yeah, we got the highest rate of incarceration. Why is that? That could be come from another reasons. And I asked myself, like, why we got the highest rate of incarceration? And I did my studying and looking and asking people, and the number one thing that I got from looking it up and asking different people, and people, number one thing they said was the opportunity. And I couldn't find, I'm like, opportunity. I was like, we got opportunity here. But it's like, and most people don't believe that blacks got the opportunity or equal opportunity as our white counterparts or other races or ethnic groups of people. We don't got the same opportunity. Now I can remember when I was coming up, we had a mentality, that we wasn't able to achieve nothing, because I came from an area that it wasn't no jobs. It was high drug rate. It wasn't really, it was gangs there, but it wasn't really a big thing. But the thing was, there wasn't no job, so the mentality that I had as a youth was like, man, I have to get out this environment to be something or to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. I couldn't achieve in that environment. So it's like a depression and stress mentality when I was a youth coming up, and plus put on top of that the altercations I was getting into the streets and things of that nature. So it was just a lot of stress, and I was bound to be incarcerated. Not being able to acquire, money, to take care of myself. So it's the mentality I can understand, like when a youth, when people be like, "Nah, what's wrong with the youth?" They have a different mind state. And when you're young, especially a young black male, then you're going through this, you can relate to other young black males that's going through this, because you feel that you can't get ahead in the environment you're in, especially when you're dealing with a lot of negativity around you. So and that leads into, you know what I'm saying, depression, and that leads into you making wrong decisions. As far as opportunity, we didn't have opportunities in that situation. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't uh, groomed to be entrepreneurs. You know, even though some of us was. You know, I was, you know, groomed to be, you know, but I didn't get the whole package of entrepreneurship. I got the hustle aspect, you know, get the jobs, but I didn't get the book smart or how to, you know, marketing or get customers. I didn't get that, but I got the, you know, the gist of it, you know, as far as working, you know, laboring, doing different types of jobs and things of that nature. I got that, but I didn't get the whole thing. Now, most youths coming out the inner city, when they coming out the gate, they ain't getting trained right properly. You know, they ain't get. You know, when I came up, now it's a different thing. You got the internet, and you can get. You know what I'm saying? You got access to the information. When we was coming up, all we had is books, and like we wasn't reading books avidly until we got locked up. You know, so everything you had to come out of the book. You had to really seek the knowledge back in the day. And by it was confined work for everybody, so everybody wasn't getting these jobs. And like I said, it was high drug rate, crime rate. So a lot of people, like myself included, and around my peer group, went to the crime rate to sustain, to make money, to have money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people sold drugs. You know, a lot of people did crime, rob, steal, kill, you know, different things in order to have money to, you know what I'm saying, you know, to take care of themselves. Because I know when I was coming up, like when you got a certain age, if you wasn't producing, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't bringing money into the household, then you was out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So you walk in the streets, so you had to do something to, you know, take care of yourself. Especially when you, like, when I was coming up, me myself, I was grown, but I didn't get the whole enchilada. You know, I got a little piece of it. That being said, yeah, I was taught basic knowledge. You know, I was taught knowledge, how to work, how to hustle, but it's a whole ball game. You gotta, you know, how to take care of yourself, your bills, pay bills on time, how to save money, how to, you know, balance a checkbook, things of that nature. How to, you know what I'm saying, establish credit. We wasn't given those opportunities. Well, I ain't gonna say we wasn't given those opportunities. It wasn't presented to us, and if it was presented it to us, we was not listening. We was not following that money because we was young and we was too busy being in the street, trying to be cool, trying to get high, trying to get drunk, trying to, you know what I'm saying, fornicate, things of that nature. But I see it as now, so that increased the incarceration rate. I mean, when I was coming up, like when I remember they had this Operation Push where they was going after the drug dealers all across America, and when that happened, a lot of black men, you know what I'm saying, got caught up in that push operation and got incarcerated and got some, you know, some serious times. I'm talking about 20-year tails, 25-year tails for despite being in possession of a controlled substance. Not necessarily that he was selling it, he could have been using it, but still had a 20 or 25-year tail. Meaning, if you get caught again, you gotta serve that tail. You know, we had some of the stiffest drug laws up in Michigan. You know, so when they start making that movement against drugs, you know, that wiped out a lot of black males and start sending them through penitentiary. You know, that crack epidemic was horrendous for the black community. I mean, for America, period. You know, it hit both sides of the bar. It wasn't contained just in the black community. You know, you had all races coming to the black community to get that, you know. And then basically that's why majority of the black inner cities look the way it look because of the crack epidemic. Crack epidemic has destroyed the black community. You look at these beautiful neighborhoods, once was beautiful neighborhoods, and you be like, damn, you could tell by it was used to be a beautiful neighborhood by the houses and everything is boarded up, and you look like, damn, where the people at? You go around these cities, Detroit, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Flint, different areas, and you be like, Jersey, where the people at? All the houses boarded up. The people is incarcerated. That's where the people at. The people is incarcerated, and in a lot of portions, and a lot of them are dead. Incarceration is massive in America. It's big business. Big business is incarceration. So that's why a lot of these neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, is basically destroyed now because of mass incarceration. Because there ain't no people there. So ain't no people there. The houses, ain't nobody maintaining or taking care of the houses, the line. So there's no movement there. So it deteriorates, So that's why, when the crack epidemic hit, and I could, not to jump off subject, but I can recall when it first hit in my area, people didn't know what it was. People was putting it in their marijuana. People didn't know what it was. And the people that was putting it in their marijuana, they got addicted to it. And that's how it was in my school. Once we seen the people get addicted to it, then we found the way to start selling. It was like half of the people started selling it, and the other half was addicted to it. And then it took another level. You know what I'm saying? It was just first they was just putting it in the weed, and then that freebase stuff came out, and then it was on and popping. And then I don't know where I know where the drugs came from. I'm not gonna speak on this video, but the drugs started pouring in. And then you start getting your connects, and there you have it. And I can remember a lot of people I went to school got addicted. It was really out here addicted to crack. I remember one incident where I had this chick that I really liked in high school. She was in one of my classes. I really adored her. And one day, me and my boy, we over this woman's house. I mean, she a grown woman, but she was a crackhead. So we over here messing with her and shit. And the chick came home. And I was like, oh, that was her mother. I was like, wow, that kind of threw me. She looked at me, I looked at her. I ain't had no words for him. I was like, man, because her mother was fine. She was fine, but her mother was fine. Had green eyes, man. Light skin and big booty. She was just, but she was hooked on drugs. And, we was dope men then, so we just come, go down through there. But when I seen it, I felt bad. I felt real bad, like, damn, that's your mom's, and your mom's addicted, and she a beautiful girl, and ain't no telling, how far the drugs take the mother. Because there's been incidents where women have actually sold their daughters into prostitution because of their drug habit. That goes on all the time, And I was thinking about that, so I felt real bad. I was like, damn, that's your mom, she on that shit. Ain't no telling where she at now, you know what I'm saying? No telling if she was on drugs or whatever situation may be. But it's situations like that have you thinking like, damn, that drugs wasn't really a cool thing to do. But people, it was there. And once you have something in the society, you could be like, well, I'm not indulging in that, or I'm not trying to, make no money. But there ain't nothing else for you to do. It's no jobs, not to make an excuse for selling drugs, but people have to live, So I ain't gonna say you have to do criminal stuff, but some people chose to do criminal activity just to maintain a basic lifestyle, as far as food, shelter, clothing. So people sold drugs. Now when they was coming with this Operation Push, they knew a lot of people was selling drugs. They know where the drugs was coming from. They know who was getting the drugs. They knew all this. So when they started hitting people, you know what I'm saying, it wiped out a large population of black male within the inner city. And like you say, Michigan had one of the tougher drug laws, and they was giving people football numbers, especially if you got caught with a lot of weight. I know cats still locked up from drugs, you know what I'm saying? That was just crazy. You get caught with a kilo, they try to give you 25 years, 20 years for a kilo. Like, what type of shit is that, it was just crazy. And we was young, and us being young, we didn't know how to really fight cases until we got to the penitentiary where the old heads was at. Big up to the old heads, because the old heads was teaching. A lot of brothers got out of penitentiary, because once they got to the penitentiary with the old heads used to school us, because we ain't had that outside in the street, because nobody was up on that. Not even our parents. They went up on law and stuff. It was the old heads that was in the law libraries up in penitentiary that that was like, nah, brother, they ask you to explain your case. You go explain your case, and then they'll come and be like, go to the law library. They'll help you or give you these certain books. And brothers was going in there and beating. A lot of brothers went there and beat their cases just by study. See, the thing about how the law is set up, if you don't got a good lawyer, and if you don't know your case, you don't know your rights, you're going to get screwed. You coming in there dumb and don't know what's going on, yeah, you're going to get screwed. A lot of brothers, they like, my day, when I was coming up, they was like, don't take a cop. Whatever, don't cop out. You know what I'm saying? Then there's been incidents where brothers like, nah, take that cop. If you guilty and you facing all day, go and take that cop. A cop is like when they offer you a certain amount of time for a crime that you supposedly committed. So they's like, okay, you committed an armed robbery, all right. We don't want to take all the court time. We're going to offer you 7 years. And you did, and if you get found guilty, if you take it to trial and get found guilty, that's 15 years. But if you take it to trial and get found not guilty, then you can walk home. What you going to do, take the 7? Or you going to risk getting the 15? Or you going to, or you can even get off or walk out the door. So it's like, it was different situations like that. But when we got in, when most people got in penitentiary, the old heads were schooling brothers. Because, when you get in penitentiary, it's all about studying and things of that nature. And they was teaching brothers how to beat their cases. Now, back to what I was originally saying of mass incarceration within the black community is because drugs was there. Once you pump all them drugs into an area, it's a matter of time, You don't gotta be a genius to sell drugs. The drugs are gonna sell themselves. You just gotta know how to cook it, how to cut it up, and where to go. It ain't no, the smarts come in how to evade police, how to evade people trying to rob you, kill you for them drugs, and what to do with the money, things of that nature. So by us doing crime back in the day, and they was having that push, a lot of black men got incarcerated, and it's like to this day, drugs has been a big part of the black community. It seems like in my generation, it was a crack thing. Now this generation, it's a heroin thing. Before my generation, it was a heroin thing. It's like the drugs rotate. You know what I'm saying? The crack died down, then the heroin pick up. That died down, then the powder pick up. It seems like drugs is like a constant 360 degrees avenue within the black community that is there to have you incarcerated, Because once you get addicted to these drugs, if you don't got a source of income, if you don't got a source of income to go buy your drugs, then you're gonna rob, steal, and do whatever you got to do to get these drugs. And that's the thing. And you eventually you're gonna get caught, and then you're gonna go to penitentiary. And that's why one of the reasons why we have a major amount of blacks incarceration due to drugs and alcohol. Alcohol is another one of the vices that keeps blacks or keeps people incarcerated. Because when you're dealing with alcohol, you really don't got no control of yourself. I know people go get drunk, get in a car, go drive somebody, go run people over and shit, do kind of crazy stuff with, off alcohol. Alcohol is very dangerous. I consider it a drug, but it's a very dangerous substance. Yeah, it's a very dangerous substance. You can get to all kind of situations dealing with alcohol. I'm not trying to put no, bad thing on alcohol, which leads, but you can get in some trouble with alcohol, which can lead to incarceration. If you ain't control of your mind, if you don't got control of your mind, and you don't know how to move or how to not move, that can even cause your life being, intoxicated. It can cause you to kill somebody. Will put you into penitentiary. Something on that type of level. So you gotta, so it's like, that was, drugs, alcohol, the lack of work is one of the main reasons that blacks is mass incarceration in certain areas. I was fortunate, to be able to move around when I was young. By me moving to a different location that did have opportunities for me to succeed in a legal society, I was able to do that and escape some of the madness of the situation where I was at. And I'll say that to a lot of people. Maybe one area code you ain't winning at. You might be in an area you just losing. But if you get on that bus, that Greyhound, go to a different location, you might be winning in that situation over there because they got better opportunity for you. So it's good. It's always good to be able to get up and change your environment. That's a good thing. Traveling and see, that's how we should be. We should always travel and see different and experience different people, different environments, so that can better us in our situation. You just sit in one environment. It's like you sitting in shit. You just sitting there. That's like the water. You got a puddle of water. You're just sitting right there. For days at a time it rains, sitting that puddle starts to stink. Like, oh man, that's foul. That water foul. But when the water is flowing, when it's moving, it's fresh. You know what I'm saying? The body of water is fresh in movement. So that's how you gotta live your life. Sometimes you gotta get up, move, get out, go to another situation, get another vibe going on, escape incarceration, and be able to make some good money or new ideas. My thing was, one of the things I used to do was I like going different places and picking up new stuff. Like I go to the situation, they might be doing this in the South, so I can bring that back up north and get it popping. Or I could take this from the north down south and get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Different situations, stores, clothing, whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? You can move around and create some currency for yourself and escape mass incarceration. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to go to incarceration. It's easy to get incarcerated. It don't take no effort to get incarcerated. But the hard thing is to get out of incarceration. Once you get in that system, it's hard to get out that system. It's very hard to get out that system. Because they got, especially if you go to prison, penitentiary, even though they tell you your out date is such and such date, you can get in trouble in prison. They can keep flopping you and flopping you and flopping you. You'll never get out. You gotta go see the parole board. Them people gotta give authority to let your ass out. So, it's not a good thing to have somebody over your life like that. So that's why I always, try to maintain a hustle, which is legal, and move as a legal, law-abiding citizen. You did? Because, these people, they don't have no problem incarcerating you. As you can see, especially for a lot of blacks, you can go 10 men out there, black men out there, guarantee you 5 of them have been incarcerated. And that's sad, but that's the reality. But I like how it is now. The youth, I get the youth they respect because they know how to make money out here. They out here making different kind of business entrepreneur things pop off for them. They smart, plus they got the information there, and they utilizing the information for them to be successful in life for the generation. You know what I'm saying? So I commend them. But like back in the day, if you ain't had the books or your family or your somebody in your ear consistently, you was gonna get incarcerated. You was gonna get incarcerated because you was gonna do something dumb. You was gonna do something dumb. So that's what I wanted to kick on about today, about how mass incarceration and how people got mass incarceration in the city. It's easy. I remember when I was a young youth in school, I was like, oh, I ain't never going to jail. I ain't never getting penitentiary. I ain't never, that's how my attitude was. Like I ain't gonna never. And I remember waking up one day, pressing that bump. Oh my God! In the county jail, coming out there in a green suit, eating a hard-boiled egg, and I'm like, man. And I remember when I said I'll never, and I was there in the county jail. So never say never. Never say never. And I mean, it's not a good place for nobody. But that's why we gotta evade situations like that. Even people, if people, I was, around certain people back in the day when I was young, they was headed in the wrong direction. And I got out situations like that. Cats had end up doing a whole lot of time. Just by me being smart and standing on my principles, that I evaded a lot of this foolishness that's going on back in the day or out here today, just by being smart out here. But I just wanted to shine on that. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. Check out my video, share. And I got other videos out here circulating. Like I said, I'm just getting back on YouTube, trying to get back into the whole floor of the situation. So you know what? Check me out. I'm out here. Peace. Till next time.